Okay, so I just bought this gas tank online for 75 bucks. Now let me tell you why and how I'm going to cut this thing in half. Okay, so it goes like this. The only reason I bought this tank is because I'm trying to put this bike back on the road and this tank leaks. It's a 1979 GS 750. It was the first bike I ever bought, actually brand new, right off the showroom floor back in 1979. That's kind of why I want to get this thing going again. But to try and find a replacement tank like that doesn't leak and is in good shape, pretty tough. I went online and they're almost impossible to find, and if you do, they are so expensive it's not worth it. I ended up finding this thing, which isn't a dead match by any stretch of the imagination, but for 75 bucks, I can paint it. And the guy said in the ad, it was said solid, comes with keys, and doesn't leak. So, you know, how could you lose, right? Well, this is how you can lose. Comes with keys, sure, there's the keys, but they don't do anything on the lock. They're definitely not for this cap. And it doesn't matter anyway, because the cap just comes on and off anyway. It's broken. Look, there's no latches, it's all snapped apart. All the bits inside are junk. So, thanks, comes with keys, awesome. He said it was solid and it didn't leak, so seems pretty solid. No obvious issues. All the seams look okay. Yeah, all right, okay, could be solid. What? Are you kidding? That's solid like a pop can, buddy. Like, what are you kidding me? Okay. So the integrity of this tank is junk. Rather than take it as a total loss, we'll cut this thing in half and see what kind of corrosion has to happen to make it go like this. Let's fire up the grinder and go slice this baby in half. Okay, let's do this. Now, I'm not the brightest bulb in the pack, that's for sure. But I know one thing. You don't start hacking into a gas tank unless you are 100% sure there is not even a hint of fumes in this thing. I have rinsed this thing out half a dozen times with hot soapy water. I've blown it dry with the compressor. I've left it outside for days. Mind you, it still smells a little funky, but it's definitely not gas fumes. It's just kind of rotten, metally weird. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, I wouldn't be putting an open flame into a gas tank unless I was 100% sure. Can't see it, but there's a flame there. That was kind of funny. And it looks sort of real, kind of. But I just want to emphasize that stuff like that can actually happen. So if you're ever thinking of cutting into a gas tank, you have to be 100% sure that it's safe to do so, right? I don't mind doing stupid shit, but you gotta do stupid shit safely. Safety glasses, gonna wear gloves, hearing protection. Fire up this grinder, and let's gut this fish. Look at that. Now that is one heck of a lot of hardened crud located up in the nose of this tank. Wow, how does that even happen? Like, what would it take to get layers and layers of crud like that to sit in the front end of a tank? Well, you gotta figure that this thing was probably leaning against a wall, probably half full of gas and mud and crud, and over time, it's like sedimentary rock. It just builds up and just settles, and then next thing you know, it's actually like hardened rock. Brutal. But that doesn't account for why the side of the tank, I mean the other side that was kind of weird, this side here, that doesn't account for why this piece here is all paper thin like a pop can, because you can see that hardened goo is right here. So why did it get all weird on this side? Well, when you look inside here, you can see a water line, like an actual rust line that formed as it was evaporating. So that tank obviously at some point went from being vertical to laying down, and this thing probably laid down for years and years, and the water and the gas and everything just started corroding on that sidewall and just ate through until it makes it like a pop can. Thin, not good for nothing. So what can we learn from this? Well, probably one of the big takeaways would be, if you're going to store a gas tank for any length of time, probably a good idea to have it empty. You don't want any fuel or water or anything in there. Leave the gas cap off. My buddy down at Ultimate Cycle, he's got a wall, probably 200 gas tanks. And I don't think any of them have gas caps on. They're just left to breathe and just stay nice and dry. And those things will probably last for hundreds of years. Another takeaway is, if you're going to buy anything online, well, you got to take your chances. Buy from a reputable dealer if you can. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you'll be okay. Not everybody's a crook out there, but whatever. It's not a total loss. I mean, we did get a chance to, have a look inside, get a snake's eye view of what can happen when, corrosion takes over and a tank gets rusted and corroded. And like, look at that. Look at that. Okay, whoa, hold up. Just a quick update on this skank in the tank. Now, what I thought was mostly mud and dirt and stuff, apparently not. I was talking to a legit chemical engineer, and he said, in all likelihood, a lot of this stuff in here is just a natural process of what happens over time when gasoline breaks down into its, I guess, key components, plus whatever additives they put in there. One thing he did mention is there's still a lot of energy in this stuff. Just put a flame to it and let's see how long it burns. So we did that. Are you kidding me? What? So yeah, it's a good learning experience. You get to learn, I get to learn. So now, where does that leave me with regards to this tank? Well, I've decided I'm gonna get this thing relined professionally. And the beauty of that is the guys who are doing it are going to allow me to come on site and film the whole process from start to finish. What a great opportunity, both for me and you to check out how the pros do it. And once I get that video put together, I'll put a link to it right there. And in the meantime, if you want to check out another pretty cool video, have a look at this one. You might be glad you did. All right, I got stuff to do. See ya. Sort of real, right? But I just want to emphasize that stuff like that can really happen. The hell was that?